Alright guys, so welcome back. Today, I will just be doing a showcase of my custom psychic type deck and pretty much how to use it. Oh, that's not gonna work out very well. Let's see if I can go like this. See if I can put you guys up here so you can see. Alright, yeah. That's a little bit better. Alright. Move it over. Let's go like this. Move it over like that. You can see. Alright, yeah. Alright, so I am using the Surging Sparks Build-in Battle. Not the deck, just the box. It's not a Surging Sparks deck. I'm hoping to develop one of those soon. We got my 2 coins, my Pawmot coin and my Battle Academy coin. This one is for just scrimmages, and then this one I'm going to use for tournaments. Or, I don't know, I just kind of like both of them. But the only real reason why I'm using Pawmi is because it's my favorite Paldean Pokemon, so yeah. Alright, let's put these aside. Let's bring out my deck with some sleeves, and then we also have my dice from the Gardevoir set, or from the Gardevoir box, and then we have some Teal Mask and Stellar Crown damage dice. So, with that, we will go over the basics of the deck. So, let me sort them out over here. Probably should have done that earlier. Alright, so while I do this, I'm going to tell you about how I ended up creating this deck. So, I am in a club that does Pokemon battles, or Pokemon card battles, and scrimmages, and trading and all that. So, I decided that I was gonna go with some pre-made decks, and I ended up not feeling too good about those decks. So, and I ended up wanting to make a new one, so I learned how to use TCG Live, and I just experimented a little bit on that, and ended up coming up with what I call Mewguard deck. So it has, hold on, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It has 22 psychic energies. They're all different, but that's fine. I don't care what the energies look like. So, now, I'm going to I should have been more prepared for this, but that's fine. We're learning. So I have 2 Iono cards for just shuffling the deck and recycling. We have 3 Bravery Charms. we have 2 earthen vessels, 2 capturing aromas with the special logo, and hollow. We have a reverse hollow Buddy Buddy Poffin. I think that's reverse hollow. I'm not exactly sure. I'm still kind of getting used to that. We have Morty's Conviction, two trekking shoes, and then we have 2 stadiums. One is Beach Court, and then the other one is Grand Tree, which is an Ace specs. Those are my ideal supporter and trainer cards and all that. And then we'll get to the exciting part, which is the Pokemon. Let me sort them out here. This is going to be a lot of cards. Actually, it might not be as bad as I thought. But I just have to make a little bit more room on my bed. So here, this. There we go. That one, and that one. Okay, so we'll start off with the basic Pokemon. And we'll go by evolution lines. So, we have 3 EVs that know Extension and Quick Attack, mostly for Extension, because of not Espeon, but Sylveon with Mystical Return and Discharming Voice. Definitely a good combo, and honestly, it's really easy to get and really easy to power up. And overall, if your opponent has a really good Pokemon on their bench that you're pretty worried about, you can do, for 1 Psychic Energy, Mystical Return, which you flip a coin, and if heads, you can choose one of your opponent's benched Pokemon, and they will have to shuffle that deck. They will have to shuffle that card into their deck, and then all attached cards, like energies and tools, and all that, will go into the discard pile. So those are the first 2 evolutions. We have, honestly, the savior for our team, kinda, Mimikyu with Safeguard and Ghost Eye. Very good with dealing, really good for dealing with decks that have a lot of EXs or Vs, because the ability Safeguard allows you to prevent all damage being done to this Pokemon by EX and V Pokemon. So, that pretty much makes it immortal to EX or V Pokemon. And then Ghost Eye for 1 Psychic Energy and a Colorless Energy. You can put 7 damage counters on your opponent's active Pokemon. I don't think it applies weakness as well. So, I think it's just automatically 7 damage counters. So that's 70 damage on a Pokemon for 1. And then we have Drifloons with Gust and Balloon Blast. Mostly for Balloon Blast, because this, if we read it, this attack does 30 damage for each damage counter on this Pokemon. You can put a Bravery Charm on this, which makes it 120. So you can have 110 damage counters on this, and it would demolish almost any card. Which is good for an early powerhouse. We have 3 Natus with triple strike. These are kind of useless, but once we evolve them into their other forms with the 2 logos on it, I use them for their ability Clairvoyant Sense, which is once during your turn, you may attach a basic psychic energy card from your hand to one of your bench Pokemon, and if you have an energy attached to a Pokemon in this way, you draw 2 cards. So pretty much when I use this, and I put a psychic energy on one of my other cards, I can pretty much draw 2 cards with it. So that's not bad. We're getting into the more powerful Pokemon. We have 3 routes with Memory Skip. If you're wondering why, I used this against another Gardevoir deck, just the regular Gardevoir deck. And with Memory Skip, it allows me to choose one of your opponent's active Pokemon's attacks, and during your opponent's next turn, that Pokemon can't use that attack. My opponent had a Drifloon with 70 damage counters on it with Brave Charm, and Balloon Blast would have wiped out almost all of my Pokemon, but luckily with that route, I was able to defeat it by using Memory Skip a whole bunch of times and not allowing him to use Balloon Blast. So that's why I used those specific ones. Then we have 2 Kirlias. Only one of them has that logo on it, which has the ability Refinement and Slap. Refinement is you must discard a card from your hand in order to use this ability. Once during your turn, you may draw 2 cards doing so. So, pretty much if I use Refinement, I can get rid of one of my cards into my discard pile and draw 2 more cards. So that's pretty good for cycling. Then we have these, which are the 2 Gardevoir EXs that I got from the Gardevoir deck box with Psychic Embrace and Miracle Force. Psychic Embrace, this is a long one. As often as you like during your turn, you may attach a basic Psychic energy from your discard pile to one of your Psychic type Pokemon. If you attached an energy to a Pokemon in this way, put 2 damage counters on that Pokemon. You can't knock out a Pokemon with this ability, or you can't use this ability on a Pokemon that would be knocked out. So that's especially good for Drifloon, because you can put 20 damage on that Pokemon as many times as you want during a turn. So, if you get Brave Charm with Drifloon, with the 2 energies you need, and just keep using Psychic Embrace, you can pretty much deplete anything. And then Miracle Force is also pretty good It deals 190 damage, and this Pokemon also recovers from all special conditions, such as poison and burn. Which, for 2 psychic energies and a colorless energy, that's actually not bad, because you can also use Psychic Embrace on this card. And then, finally, just to wrap it all up, this might be kind of surprising that I used this card in a deck, even though I probably should have it in a binder. I'm using the 151 Mew EX cards. This one's the gold and the regular one. I pulled these a while back from an arcade where I bought a 151 box and did pack battles with a few of my friends, and we ended up getting these. So you can use the ability Restart, which is once during your turn, you may draw cards until you have 3 cards in your hand. And then mostly genome hacking, which you can, for 3 colorless energies, you can choose one of your opponent's active Pokemon's attacks and use it as this attack. So, for 3 colorless energies, let's say my opponent had, where is it? Had this Charizard out, and for 2 energies, you can use Burning Darkness, and then this attack does 30 more damage for each of your opponent, or each of the prize cards your opponent has taken. I could use that move for 3 colorless energies on my turn. You might think, oh, that's kind of stupid, or that's kind of terrible, because that Charizard only needs 2 energies for that move. But let's say we have a Pokemon that can burn, and they have an attack that can burn you. I have an attack, I can use that against them because of genome hacking. So I can burn my opponent's Pokemon or poison them using a Mew EX if they have that ability. But anyways, that is all for my custom Psychic deck. The win ratio, I've won most. So I did a couple battles on TCG. I think I did like 10 battles on TCG live, and then I did a few battles just at the club. Overall, I think I did around 20 matches, maybe. I lost 5 of those matches and won 15. So 75% win rate on like my skill level, or like I might be either really lucky or I might just be really bad, because I know in Pokemon TCG Live, I'm only Rioli ranked because I haven't done much ranked, but you know, it's still good. I did have a few pretty astounding matches. We had a guy with a Chien-Pao EX deck, and he had 3 Chien-Paos on his bench. And no, he had 2 Chien-Pao EXs on his bench, and then 1 in his active spot. And he kept trying to use his move on me, but I had my Mimikyu out, so of course he couldn't do anything. And I don't think he ended up reading my card description. I think he thought he was just missing, because he did that on all of the cards, and I ended up winning, only playing a Mimikyu in my active spot. So, that is it for my deck review. Hopefully, next time I will have another deck for me to review with you guys. But anyways, that's going to be it for today. I hope you guys have a wonderful day or night, and I hope to see you in the next video. Goodbye.